Can you believe that 5 years ago, the Crew 2 came into being? After a brief period of live service from the first game where we achieved our Elite 510 status, the guys at Ivory Tower went back to the drawing board and designed a brand new game, where mainland USA was still our playground, but racing was expanded. Not just with different specs of cars, trucks, and bikes, but also boats, planes, hovercrafts, helicopters, you name it. Fast forward 5 years and here we are, getting ready for our 9th season of The Crew 2, and it's an iconic return to form once again. DJ Atomica here with Stryker and Transporter, and on behalf of us here at Transporter FM, as well as the guys at Ubisoft and Ubisoft Ivory Tower, we're privileged to give you all the details of this brand new season, scheduled to take off tomorrow. If you loved all the storied journeys you went on in Season 5, get ready for more treasure hunting in Season 9 as American Legends makes its triumphant return in The Crew 2. Let's check this new season out.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. I trust you're in good shape because I have some important work for you in pursuit of new American legends. As the archivist, I'm responsible for a tremendous library of records on automotive history. And after a lengthy effort by our technology team, we've taken the collection fully digital. You can now access the archives on any device, from any place, at any time. Yes, it took us quite a while to catch up with the 21st century, but it's incredibly easy to log in, as they say, and find your way around. Moreover, this has allowed us to add some new, more recent entries that I imagine you'll be interested in. These will, of course, require some journeying into the field. Follow each trail of breadcrumbs to the real-world locations they suggest, and gradually uncover the untold stories of drivers, vehicles, and the landscapes through which they traveled. Feel free to browse and see which legends strike your fancy. Pursue them to the end, and you should find the journey quite rewarding.
So, gentlemen, we're back with another American Legends season. To be honest, this is good. We've just been through 2 seasons of non-stop racing. I think it's time we unwind a bit and look for some treasure, right?
As long as we don't do any contract jobs in the near future, those were, well, questionable.
Questionable? Dude, just say you were bored.
All right. As questionable as those contract jobs are, we're not doing that this season.
Thank God!
This season is all about making use of the archivist and looking for some exclusive treasure. So here's this episode's Motorpass. Anything stand out here, Transporter?
There's a bit of a retro, tropical vibe to all the vanities that you can win throughout the pass, and I'll get into why that is later. The standout cars for this pass are the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus Divine Edition, which is, get this, even faster than the original car, oh boy. The Ford Mustang Boss 429 Lime Edition, which, although it looks a bit subtle, has 8 exhausts, 2 sticking out of the bonnet, and 2 sets of 3 on each side of the front wings. The Chevrolet Camaro RS Ghost Edition, which is named that why due to the ghosted livery on it, as well as it having a bit of a custom interior with a red racing bucket seat and a normal passenger seat beside it. And this episode's free car, the Nissan GT-R Harrow Edition, which is a bit of a Liberty Walk light car with a carbon fibre ducktail trunk lid, an extra Evo style wing, a Liberty Walk inspired body kit and livery, and an illuminated front grille lip.
I'm really digging the tropical vibe. It's a bit reminiscent of an old school summer. I really wonder why they went for that theme.
We'll get to that, but it looks as if we've got some new live summits, don't we?
Correct. To celebrate this game's 5-year anniversary, the first live summit of this new season is a 5th anniversary themed summit. As a reminder, the Chevrolet Corvette C7 ZR1 convertible will still be available for 1 crew credit or $1 when the update launches, as well as throughout this summit. But you'll need to be quick. Once the summit finishes, the Corvette will return to being priced at over $1.2 million. The next summit, Road to Oahu, has us winning the Mazda RX-3 Raigo edition. But get this, it's a bronze reward instead of a platinum reward. This might be the easiest new car to unlock in a long time.
Wait, Road to Oahu? This sounds a bit Motorfest, if you ask me.
We're almost there to that. One more thing to talk about before we reveal the big secret. Race Creator, which, I might add, is another big thing by itself. Tell us about it, man.
This truly has been a long time coming. I remember being one of the many players asking Ivory Tower to add the ability for us to create our own custom races, like we could near the end of the live service of the first game. Here we are, in the 5th year of the new game, approaching the 6th year of live service, and we finally are able to create our own custom races. Making a custom race is pretty straightforward. In the side menu, where you see your radio, photo mode, live replay, and the quit game buttons, you'll now see Create a Race near the top. From there, you can choose where to put your starting line and start placing your checkpoints. Unlike the last game, which had you create checkpoints from an aerial view, all the checkpoint placements are done with you driving your car. Once you've finished placing your checkpoints and your finish line, you can give your race a name and a thumbnail with all of the options available. But most importantly, you'll need to validate your race in order to publish it to the Community Races Hub, where everyone can see it and try it out for themselves. Also, unlike the last game, we can't do any interdisciplinary or cross-disciplinary races, meaning any race you create is locked to a single discipline. Street race, hyper, drift, hovercraft, air race, etc. Other than that lock, everything else is open season. You can create a race with or without collisions, have it locked to a single manufacturer or car, set it at a specific time with specific weather and filters. The sky is literally the limit.
Wow! There's just so much to do with this here. So you can literally create your own custom race from New York to Los Angeles, driving nothing but hovercrafts?
If that's what you've always wanted to do, then Race Creator will make that possible for you. I should stress, you are limited to about 300 checkpoints, though it's possible that this limit might be raised in the future.
This is awesome stuff. Now, it's time for the main event. The headline of this season, American Legends. We have some new stories this season, don't we? They could have done something a bit similar to Season 5 and have us hunting exclusive classics like some equivalents to the Porsche 550 Spyder, Pontiac GTO, and Nissan 300ZX, or even the special edition cars from Jaguar, Spyker, and Nissan. But these new finds the Archivist has us hunting for are unique. Why?
Because, and if you haven't figured it out already, this episode alone serves as a direct tie-in, a prologue if you will, to the Crew MotorFest. With the new game launching in about 2 months from now, and with the beta coming to us in about 2 weeks, the guys at Ivory Tower want to get you pumped about the new adventure we'll be embarking on. A trip to Hawaii, joining the MotorFest, and driving the most iconic, the craziest, and the newest cars on the planet. Each of the 4 stories in this new episode introduces us to the characters we'll see at the festival. The first story you'll come across is Malu's Memoirs. If you recall from my TCM preview video, Malu is the MotorFest PR, born and raised in Hawaii. However, in this story, before you arrive in Oahu and take part in the MotorFest, she relives some of her memories with her father, traveling to see family along the west coast, even seeing and driving her father's prized possession, which in turn becomes hers. Complete all the steps, and you'll win her car, a heavily customized, open T-top Nissan 300ZX. Oh, and if you love the 300ZX and were disappointed by its performance and handling when you first drove it, you might want to get this one. Not only is it kind of a convertible, but it's a much better 300ZX than the other 2 that are already in the game. Next, you have Pierce's Wild Diary. Pierce is the chief madman for Off-Road Addict, one of the main playlists you'll encounter during the Motorfest, which literally has you racing off-road in some insane vehicles, like the Ford Bronco, Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, 392 Hemi, Toyota Tacoma, and more. Since the playlist was designed by his crazy, adventurous mind, this story you'll embark on has you running across the Midwest, climbing mountaintops, swerving through jungles, pretty much doing all the off-roading you'd imagine you'd do at the Motorfest. Complete his crazy journey, and he'll leave his car with you. A customized, open-top Land Rover Defender Works V8. The same one he did all those adventurous things with. It's not just about cars, though. The next two stories has you winning new suits and clothing. First, there's Jammin' with Jim, the story of a rock star who heads off to play main stage at the Motorfest, but was also on a mission to create one of the largest muscle car collections ever. Then, there's Toji's team. If you watched my preview video of the Crew MotorFest, you probably saw the name Toji before. He, along with Hayato, Ren, Shingo, and Hina, make up the Pack, a group of racers who originate from Tokyo, Japan. This story involves them taking on former street race king Tio, as well as winning the chance to show their stuff at the Motorfest, as part of the Made in Japan playlist. Completing these two stories will get you exclusive suits for your clothing collection in Jim's rocker suit and Toji's mechanic suit. That's a lot of stuff, yes, but considering that all 4 stories will be available to you at the launch of this season, instead of you waiting weeks for the story you want, clearly, there's a lot I had to cover here.
And to be honest, that was enough information we needed as well as a lot to get excited for. So, cars, and there are a lot of them. Let's go through each one, starting with the Motorpass ones, right?
Yup, there are a lot of cars this season. As mentioned earlier, the 4 Motorpass cars this season are the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus Divine Edition, which is covered in white carbon fiber and sports rocket ship-like rear wing fins and a roof snorkel. This car is a Tier 1 Premium Motorpass reward. Next we have the Ford Mustang Boss 429 Lime Edition, which, as mentioned earlier, has 8 exhausts, the most of any car, or boat, or plane. It's a Tier 13 Premium Motorpass reward. Next, there's the Chevrolet Camaro RS Ghost Edition, which is a ghost-liveried muscle car with surprising performance, thus serving as a Tier 25 Premium Motorpass reward. Finally, there's the free Motorpass reward at Tier 37, the Nissan GT-R Haru Edition, which, other than having better performance, is a bit of a Liberty Walk-inspired custom car. As far as shop editions go, the ones that you'll see when the update launches tomorrow are all rally-inspired. First and foremost, Audi are making a triumphant return, thanks to positive feedback Ivory Tower received when giving us the USST Official Edition, Audi RS5 Coupe. The 4-ringed manufacturer has decided to give us more from their stable. Tomorrow, you'll be able to get your hands on the Audi RS3 Sportback, a 400 horsepower, 5-door super hot hatchback that will launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.3 seconds, faster than most supercars. There's also the Audi RS7 Sportback, sibling to the RS6 Avant, or the car that I kinda wanted to see in this game before this car came to join us. The RS7 sports the same engine as the Panamera Turbo S and the Cayenne Turbo GT. A 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8, however, it has less power than the Porsches. While they're running at 630 or 640 horsepower, the RS7 only makes do with 600. But maybe less is more, because it felt like the much faster car when I was driving it. Anywho, the next 2 cars are rally legends, and they are the same car but in different disciplines. For street race, we have our first street race Lancia, the Stratos HF Stradale. Built in 1973, the Stratos was designed to be a mid-engined, lightweight rear-wheel drive sports car for rally racing. The engine in question came from Ferrari, a 2.4-litre high-revving V6, the same engine Ferrari put in the Dyno 246. Speaking of rally racing, the next car, the Stratos HF Group 4, comes to the game as its newest rallycross car, the first one we've had in a while. When it entered the rally circuit, the Stratos was nearly unstoppable, winning several rally championship titles, as well as a dominant show of defense during the Monte Carlo rallies of 75, 76, 77, and 79. There are more cars coming later this month, including an elite bundle that I know you'll be quite surprised to see. We do, however, have some returning cars coming to the shop this season, stemming from Season 3, the first US Speed Tour, and Season 4, The Contractor. Cars returning to the game as shop editions include the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, Outclassed Edition, the Hummer H1, Alfa US Wildlife Watchers, the Chrysler 300 SRT 8 Limousine, the Yassid Design X American Petrol Edition, Alfa Grand Prix car, the KTM Crossbow R Spear Racing Edition, and even though I forgot to show them off, the Porsche 911 Carrera RSR Turbo Pulse Performance Edition, and the Chevrolet Corvette C3 Fire Edition. And those, chaps, are all the cars coming in this season of The Crew 2.
That, was a mouthful, my friend. I'm gonna let you rest, but wow. That's a lot of cars we'll be looking at and driving this season. It's also really good to see Audi in this game. I remember the time where we were talking about them adding more when we reviewed the RS5 USST edition last season. Lo and behold, more from the Quattro all-wheel drive manufacturer. Plus, with all this Motorfest tie-in stuff, we'll be able to have our appetites whetted and primed for the beta phase, which is coming in about 2 weeks, and rest assured, Transporter FM will be there with all the gameplay you could possibly ask for. For now, at least, let's end things here and get you psyched up about all the new stuff coming tomorrow. We have a few cars to review, so sit tight and watch this space. You should be seeing us driving an Audi RS3 on this channel pretty soon. It's probably up now, by the way. Anywho, make sure you're subscribed here as well, because throughout the week, we'll be doing lots more car reviews in The Crew 2, as well as checking out and completing the new Motorfest prequel stories for American legends. On behalf of my colleagues, Stryker and Transporter, this is Atomica, transitioning to our first car review of the day on Transporter FM. Remember, stay right there and don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our first review in a few minutes.